Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
With wood and earthenware strewn all around, the demon feline's fury can't be quelled, reducing them to rubble on the ground.
Strong as stone, firm as steel, the Outlander pulls, but it does not yield.
This has happened many times before, but this time is different. A thought enters the Outlander's mind. Attack! Attack! First to weaken the structure, then seize the treasure!
The attack now over, only one final step remains.
Now it is the time to seize the key.
Yes! Finally! Come on, move your butts! And your legs, assuming they're still in working order. It's showtime!
No hard feelings about your lack of poetic contributions?
Oh, let it go! Welcome, esteemed and noble Outlander. Allow us to introduce ourselves.
We represent the 3 great clans of this realm, having been selected as its authorized historical supervisors.
Our purpose being to await the arrival of one such as yourselves, who shall remove the clockwork key.
My name is...
You're Cape, he's Albizzi, and that's Bobarano, right? You've done so much talking that we can already tell you apart by your voices.
Aren't we missing someone, though? The guy who led us here to begin with?
Who?
And thus was born the long-awaited fellowship, destined to uncover the truth of the past. Allow me to quote, if I may, in the history of Constellation Metropole, a new page has begun.
Him.
Well, there's no fourth person, so which of you is the ventriloquist? Come on, out with it.
We've never heard that voice before, but he sounds like he'd be good at reading bedtime stories to children.
Well, whoever it is, I don't know and I don't care. Forget about him. We have far more important things to focus on, like where our journey goes from here.
That key you hold is the pivot point about which the past and present of the Metropole revolve. However, between our three clans, there is some dispute over the historical record.
Each clan has its own version of history, detailing the clan's origins and the tale of the dragon of old, and unfortunately, we don't know which one is the truth.
Dragon? You mean the one that's been acting up recently?
Oh, no, not that one, you adorable little pixie. When I say dragon of old...
He means a dragon that would be really, really old if it was still with us today, but it was defeated in ancient times. The new one has nothing to do with our clan history.
Was that supposed to be a joke? Anyway, so you've been waiting for someone to remove the key so you can finally explore the truth of the past?
Not just explore it, but argue incessantly about it. Honestly, I don't care that much. Cape's the one who's always bothering us about it.
What we need to figure out is who resolved the dragon crisis. We have to know that before we can decide which is the supreme clan.
The moment you removed the key from where it was lodged, you became noble traveler Marquis. We ask you to help us. You and your talking Puss in Boots and the pale floating pixie.
Puss in Boots? Are you serious? It's better than demon feline, but still.
Embrace it, my friend, embrace it. Most cats don't wear boots or speak, do they?
I'm not even a cat, I'm a Nekomata. Now that you know the word, I expect you to use it.
Please allow me to lead you all to a sacred memorial site. It will be much easier to explain what needs to be done once we are there. This place is sacred to my clan. It's where our brave forefathers once took up arms against the dragon of old. After a bitter battle that dragged on for many... So they say. It's just a legend, though.
Wait a second? Did I just hear you admit that your clan's history is just a legend?
History, legend, who cares? My clan was definitely courageous, that's the point. That's the truth. And isn't the truth what we've all been arguing about non-stop for all these years?
Cape's words gave the traveller food for thought. Could it be that the truth in a fictional world is equivalent to fiction in the real world? But that would have to wait. Apparently, Cape was not alone in his pilgrimage to this sacred site. Unwanted company had arrived. The traveller and the talking cat, Nekomata, decided to teach them some manners.
I summon fire hazard!
A true display of heroism and valor. It was as if the spirits of my ancestors were fighting through you.
Here's a thought. Could be wrong, but maybe the travel...
Your martial prowess and show of courage are a more vivid reenactment of my ancestors' feats. Now, let's get down to business. As we all know, time is but an illusion. Time may flow line by line, page by page, or frame by frame, but usually it flows in the form of springs and gears.
And that clockwork key you have in your hand can turn back time and make the past reappear.
Well, actually, my view is that the illusion of time is more of a problem of consciousness. Gears power the body, while the body is the vessel of the conscious mind. But the mind cannot understand the dimension of time, so we experience instead an endless continuum of moments as the pinion of now turns along the rack of ages.
I'm getting flashbacks to when I was delivering packages to the Sumeru Academia.
A teacher once asked Albizzi what his greatest fear was, and he replied, dragons. Boberano was asked the same question. He replied, time, and repeated the argument we just heard. The teacher then turned to Capet and posed the same question. He replied, Boberano.
The manuscript that tells the truth of the historical record, the blueprint to all of creation, the work of the great mage themselves. It can be found at the beginning of the Girak, and on the very first page of the book.
Paimon didn't follow all that, but basically, you're just saying that we need to put the key in and turn it all the way back?
Exactly. It is said that in the beginning, the goddess of creation took the goddess of fate's manuscript as a blueprint, placed it under the goddess of prophecy's starry realm, and generated the world from a few magic arrays. So in a few moments, when the great clockwork key turns the local time here back to the very beginning, we will restore the magic arrays back to their original configurations.
Hold on, isn't stealing part of the blueprint of creation a little dangerous? Also, how are we supposed to know the original configurations of the magic arrays?
Well, the general shapes of the configurations have been passed down over the ages. They now form the family crests of each of our clans. So you'll just need to reference my family crest and join the dots accordingly. To address your other concern, when the house has already been built, do you really think that taking away the construction crew and blueprint will cause it to collapse?
The Traveller Marquis prepares to insert the great clockwork key into the nearby keyhole.
I guess we should start here?
Why don't you give it another try? Truth always has a limited scope, and so do right and wrong. Perhaps you had the right answer, but to the wrong question. Keep trying. Truth always has a limited scope, and so do right and wrong. Perhaps you had the right answer, but to the wrong question. Keep trying. Truth always has a limited scope, and so do right and wrong. Perhaps you have the right answer to the wrong question. Keep trying.
Behold, the sacred writings that record the truth of... Feast your eyes, rejoice, and cheer, for this is the unquestionable truth. Look at the signature.
I don't believe it.
Don't lose heart, Albizzi. It does not follow from his is truth.
That might be the most bogus...
And yet, it seemed the party decided to visit the sacred sites of the other clans and see what...
Isn't a narrator supposed to remain Oh, whatever. I'm in a good mood. Let's do it. The instructions say to repeat the process 3 times, and besides, I'm looking...
Let's do my clan next. I'll lead the way.
We'll need the key again, right? Let me see if I can pull it out. Yoink!
The party finds no pedestal in which to place the great clockwork key, only a locked door.
Where's your clan's pedestal? Let me guess, you hid it away in advance to save yourself the embarrassment of having it exposed as a fake?
You done? Okay. Now, since my clan's main claim to fame is...
Misinformation, half-truths, and fabrication?
Ah, shut up!
Shut up, Cappe!
I swear, if I wind up dead one day, the murderer was...
My clan's claim to fame is that we outwitted the Dragon of Old.
So,
Almost. There's one...
Jeez. Well, do you at least know the answers?
The correction fluid of time, but worry not. I had a quick word with the constabulary in advance. They'll ignore the alarm if we get the questions wrong, so answer without fear.
Question 1. Who is it?
That's actually quite...
Question 1.
Ah, what an ingenious idea. Far more intelligent than Boberano's ancestors. But I still recommend against this answer.
Question 1. Who is it?
the great yokai, Nekomata in boots.
And the trusty travel guide, Pixie! Travel guide! Trusty travel guide!
Question 2. But
Oh, no, don't say that. Even though the writings you...
You do realize we can hear everything you're saying, right?
If you say it out loud, you'll only set those three off arguing again.
Question 2. By which virtue did the ancients defeat the dragon?
To be completely honest,
Question 2.
If this is the right answer, I swear I'll.
Correct.
What? A barefaced lie. So low.
Question 3. Which is more real? The fiction of the...
come on, you'll have to do better than that, kid. I mean, Traveller Marquis, you and your friends are the only ones who know.
Question 3. Which is more real? The fiction of the outside world or the truth of this world?
Please try.
Question 3.
Here, here. There is no way.
All correct.
Traveler Marquis, you know what must be done. Please insert the great clockwork. Oh, and
Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while, so it is where many things come to settle.
Do we really need this one?
The Traveller Marquis draws a design that is practical and aesthetically pleasing in equal measure. One thing it is not, however, is correct. I think you should take another look at Boberano's family crest and have another go.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Are you, gonna try again?
Now, let me see what...
What elaborate fiction the Clan of Wisdom was able to conjure up.
If anyone's listening...
What?
Oh, does this mean that my clan is the only odd one out?
Given that my clan's wisdom is such a subject of ridicule in your eyes, I will now appeal to my own personal intelligence, which I believe far surpasses that of my clan at large, and make a prediction. It seems likely that the claims made by each of our clans regarding their history and virtue are all true.
Boberano? How can that be?
Oh, I get what's going on. Once, when I was drinking with Gujiyai, she bet me a round of dried fish that I couldn't guess which cup the umeboshi was under. Whichever one I guessed, I was always wrong, and Guji would lift a different cup to reveal the umeboshi. But then, I learned later from one of the shrine maidens, Miyuki, that all of the cups had an umeboshi under them. Just goes to show, I still got a long way to go before I become a great yokai.
Oh, don't mind Fox Lady. That's just her way of teasing you.
Actually, that reminds me. We can now open these 3 treasure chests. And unlike the guessing game you mentioned, this one's not a trick.
Cool. Well, once you've plundered the last of Bobarano's family wealth, we can go to my clan's place.
Guess I'll take the clockwork key again then. Yoink!
Unsolicited, and all the more valuable for it. Unsolicited, and all the more valuable for it.
The cohort of truth seekers followed Albizzi to his clan's sacred site. They arrived to the site of a giant guard towering over them.
Up ahead is my clan's gigantified guard. He can be a little pig-headed, and he's incredibly strong. Your weapons won't even scratch him.
Wait, but wasn't Kappei's clan the one that's all about strength? So, what do you guys believe in then?
Oh, the guard is one of Kappei's people. Size is a coveted trait in the clan of strength, after all. Mine is the clan of empathy, and our key contribution is... growth serum!
What's empathetic about that?
Our ancestors believed that, just maybe, so they drank the growth serum and grew even larger than the dragon. Then they set the dragon down. The serum isn't what it once was, though. Nowadays, it doesn't make you grow all that much, and it actually makes you lose your empathy. So I advise we take a detour.
Despite Albizzi's words of caution, somebody, no doubt, has other ideas. Surely we could avoid a conflict with the guard, they think to themselves, if we could just try to understand one another. You could, of course, just take the path to your left and go around. But some people are gluttons for punishment. It's all part of the experience, I suppose.
Everyone, I have returned. I come with the long-awaited Marquis and their followers to search for the lost origins of our clan.
Well, we weren't told anything about that this morning. Get out of here. Leave us alone.
You and Albizzi only wanted to strike up a conversation with the guard.
Everyone, I have returned. I come with the long-awaited Marquis and their followers to search for the lost origins of our clan.
Well, we weren't told anything about that this morning. Get out of here. Leave us alone.
You and Albizzi only wanted to strike up a conversation.
Everyone, I have returned. I come with the long-awaited Marquis and their followers to search for the lost origins of our clan.
Well, we weren't told anything about that this morning. Get out of here. Leave us alone.
You and Albizzi only wanted to strike up a conversation with the guard. But since greeting you wasn't one of the items included in today's schedule, the relationship quickly soured. If you're just looking for a way in, why not?
Why is my own clan treating me like a villain?
You've been away too long. We all have.
We should be getting close.
Why is this place so full of junk? Are you the kind of people who never throw away the box when you buy something because you're worried you won't be able to return it without the original packaging? We'll never find the Oracle Pillars in all this mess.
Never mind that. We have a more pressing issue. It seems there's a slight problem with my clan's family crest. The Marquis may need to utilize their wisdom to solve the issue.
Wisdom too, huh? Well, you guys have a bit of everything, don't you? Except empathy.
Over here! I found it! I'll go keep watch.
Can't you destroy the boxes a little more quietly?
Apparently that was incorrect. But don't blame yourself, it's Albizi's clan's fault for taking terrible care of their family crest. How could they let something so important get so dirty?
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
This is the guard's headquarters. If we can just explain the situation, I'm sure the giant—
What are you doing? I'm busy reminiscing about old times.
I know that voice.
You
That's not true.
made other friends.
Actually, no.
I said.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle.
This is the last one. The signature. So it's true. Empathy is one of the founding virtues of Constellation Metropole, too.
Just as we suspected, all three are the
Okay. Well, this is a lot to process. I feel a little empty inside. Yes, we found the truth, but there's too much truth.
I get you. It's like in Inazuma, when there were only 6 books in the Mirage Warrior series, it was really popular. But by the time book number 88 came out, nobody wanted to read it. They all lost interest.
A brief moment of joy is drowned out by a growing feeling of melancholy. But perhaps there is a glimmer of hope to be found too? Anyone? Anyone? All right, I'll say it. How is it the case that these 3 versions of history can all be true at once?
That's exactly what Paimon was wondering, but Boborano kind of already explained it away earlier. So Paimon was worried she'd look stupid for asking the question.
It's not a stupid question at all, my dear little pixie. While I did postulate that different truths may coexist, there is an issue when it comes to these 3 truths in particular. The problem is, all 3 truths are the history of the exact same thing, namely the dragon and the Metropole's origins. Yet all 3 bear the signature, showing that they're genuine.
Suddenly, the sound of a bell rings out.
The bell! It rang once! What does that mean again? Ah, yes! Highest level of emergency! Everyone, to the main entrance! Stat! Bring all the glue traps, and place them outside the gates!
The whole city is on the lookout, and there's only one way out. It's the path right in front of you.
Why'd they ring the bell anyway? Also, why is 1 ring the highest level of emergency?
Obviously because you have to respond fast when it's an emergency. It'd be a bit too late if they waited till the 99th ring.
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
They're outside! After them! Any further and we'll be outside our jurisdiction!
We made it out. Don't know if we'll still be needing this clockwork key, but I yoinked it out before we ran, just in case.
Okay, but back to the truth problem. There are 3 conflicting versions of the truth, and somehow they're all still true. What is that supposed to mean?
I don't know. I doubt anyone here in Simulanka can make sense of it. All we do know is that any manuscript bearing her signature has to be valid.
Well, she is the goddess of fate, the creator of all this. And all these manuscripts are her grand design.
The reason we argued about who was right was that we didn't know enough about the truth of the past. But now we have the truth. So we just have to accept it. As surely as we will follow the clockwork path designed for us, so is this the course that history has taken. It is clear and incontrovertible.
We will never argue again. Thank you all.
Is that all there is to it? Is this where the decision made at the first crossroads of destiny has led us to? A pointlessly happy ending? Overthinking it would be equally pointless. Well, that's enough for one day. Time to take a break.
Could you be any more cryptic? You're planning something. Paimon knows it.
Whatever happens, today was a breakthrough in my journey of discovery. I will go back and share it with my clan.
Me too.
And me.
Let's leave it there for today, then. I'm sure we'll find out what else Mr. Narrator has planned for us tomorrow.
What a beautiful day, thought the traveller, before he was overcome by a creeping sense of foreboding. The voice in his head.
Huh? What's this?
Wait. This looks like the star I found earlier. I told the guards to place it near the goddess statue. Maybe they ran into some trouble up there. Guess we'd better hurry.
Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Lior tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Pendulum Lane is just up ahead. Something must have happened here after all. Everyone's crowded around.
Oh my god, this is terrible! I don't understand. The 3 great clans of Constellation Metropole have finally made peace with each other. Who could have done this?
What happened? Oh no, someone's lying on the ground. Cappy!
How did this happen?
Cappy, you idiot! Wake up! You need to revise your last words or everyone's gonna start suspecting me!
Last words? What did he say?
If I wind up dead one day, the murderer was Boberano.
Ugh, you could have at least pretended to not remember it.
I'm sorry, Boberano, but this is an interrogation. I have to give the detective straight answers.
Don't worry, Boberano. I don't consider you a suspect, nor do I have the authority to charge anyone with a crime. My sincere condolences. You were travel companions, right? It's a real tragedy. I'm afraid he'll be out cold for another hour and a half, at least.
Huh?
Yeah, I know. It's despicable. Hitting someone in the back of the head is the second worst act of cruelty there is. The first being replacing their gear oil with extra strong glue.
So, Cappy's not dead?
His gears, metal frame and shell are all still in excellent condition. It's just his energy supply that's been all messed up. Wait. But surely you can't be suggesting that just because Cappy isn't broken, there's no need to go looking for the culprit.
No,
Unfortunately, this is rapidly turning into a cold case. Excuse me. Then suddenly the long-lost dragon of old flew across the sky.
Where?
I didn't see anything. Wait, why can't I move?
No, my mistake. It was just a cloud. Or a bird. Or something. If only we could turn time backwards and replay the crime.
Isn't that one of those, clockwork socket things right behind you?
So it is. No wonder everyone here is suddenly struggling to move. Traveller, if you please, let's recreate the crime scene.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references.
The crime scene's too chaotic. I can't make heads or tails of it.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Well, that clears it up. Cappy was walking along the street, and he suddenly collapsed. He was faking it.
What? So case closed? Aren't you supposed to investigate a little more first?
Well, we literally replayed the crime scene and saw it with our own eyes. There's no need for any evidence gathering or powers of deduction now. And besides, maybe the truth is inherently strange by nature. Like how Constellation Metropole has 3 histories, each of which is the truth.
But didn't you say Cappe was struck in the back of the head and knocked unconscious?
For all I know, he could have bashed his head against a toilet bowl before leaving the house, then walked here in a daze before finally passing out. As for why he might have done that, my guess is... With the Supreme Clan question left unanswered and the tension in Constellation Metropole suddenly wiped away, he was looking to create a new source of conflict. Only then would the city feel alive again.
Do we really think he's capable of that, though? Sounds like a pretty complicated conspiracy for the average Simulanka resident.
Traveler, something about the crime scene isn't sitting right with me. It just seems unnatural. Also, anything outside of the immediate area won't have appeared in the replay. Is it possible that something was missing from the scene? Why don't we search the area?
Wait, what are you doing?
Oh, we're gonna head to Cappe's house to check the toilet bowl for signs of an impact.
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
There's a strange potion bottle here. Looks so weird. Let's take it.
Hello there. Have you seen my spear by any chance? Someone was shouting about a dragon a minute ago, and I instinctively threw it into the sky. Yeah.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
There's a spear here. It looks so mysterious. Let's take it.
You're not from these parts, are you? Just visiting?
Yep, that's right. Why? What's up?
Well, I was gonna offer you a great job in the Titanium mines. A safe and secure working environment.
Doesn't sound very safe. At least not as safe as being a courier.
To keep the titanium ore intact, we use specially designed pickaxes that can't cut through it. Even if you struck a person with it, it wouldn't so much as leave a scratch. And in terms of labor intensity, the work has been rated as Class 2 physical labor by a reputable organization. Even cats can do it.
I'm not... never mind. I give up.
Welcome to Paimon's world.
Mind you, I don't know what happened today, but somehow a pickaxe has gone missing. Maybe one of the giant guards broke it down, so someone took it to perform a rapid resuscitation procedure.
Sounds pretty brutal for a first aid technique. Still, a missing pickaxe. Huh. Is it just me, Traveler, or does it seem kinda suspicious?
Come here. Whatever it is you were looking to buy, please do come back tomorrow. It's just, I have to close early today. A bottle of growth serum has gone missing. If someone's stolen it there's a whole investigation into it, so I gotta close the shop while I do an inventory count. If it turns out I'm wrong and I miscounted, I could be charged with filing a false report and disturbing the peace.
A pickaxe? What is it doing all the way down here? There's gotta...
Let's say one of these was the weapon used in the assault. Which one do you think it is? If it was the growth serum, Kappe would have been turned into a giant.
Also, the bottle probably would have shattered when it hit him. We would have seen the debris on the ground.
Let's say one of these was the weapon used in the assault. Which one do you think it is? If so, there's no way his head would still be in such good shape. He'd have a big dent in the back.
And if the guard is to be believed, he had the spear in his possession right up until that guy shouted about the dragon.
Let's say one of these was the weapon used in the assault. Which one do you think it is?
If it was the pickaxe, Cafe sure is lucky it's not still lodged in his head.
Actually, you're wrong there, Paimon. The foreman at the mine was just saying, this kind of pickaxe is designed not to damage titanium, so it couldn't cause any superficial damage to residents here. But you could probably knock someone out if you hit them hard enough, and it wouldn't leave a scratch. Let's take this back to the crime scene and replay it one more time.
Ah, you're back. How was the toilet at Cape's house?
Toilet? What about it? Oh, yeah, forget that.
What's this about? What are you trying to say?
We thought the way Cape fell looked odd, so we searched the area for suspicious items and found this. It could have been deliberately placed out of range of the crime scene so it wouldn't show up when we replayed it. Now we've retrieved it, we were gonna replay it again. You don't mind, do you?
I just remembered I forgot to turn off the clockwork switch in my kitchen. Yeah, I think I'll just,
Oh, no, you stay right there.
We should be good now.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
So you're the attacker!
And those that come across Leo.
So, it was you!
I would congratulate you for cracking the case, but since I did such an abysmal job of covering my tracks, didn't exactly have your work cut out for you. So, all I can say is... Catch me if you can!
We have a runner! That's it! Let me at him!
The would-be Marquis of Carabas dispatched the Necromancer in boots, who ran off in pursuit of the poor little minion. The minion's poor little lower back was protesting painfully against the intense physical activity. He decided to take the elevator, giving him a moment to catch his breath.
Yep.
Really? His lower back asked. But the minion had no other choice. He resolved to make the jump down. By this point, the Necromancer in boots was gasping for air. The minion was puffing and puffing, even more loudly. But we'll ignore that.
I'm not! Don't underestimate the gold-level courier of the Comania Express!
A characteristically catty response from the Necomata. Tell me, what do you hope to gain from bullying me?
I get to let off some steam!
Ha-ha! You fell into my trap. Oh, and by the way, remember the glue you got stuck on when you first entered the future Marquis's abode to be? That was also me. I did it using my powers.
Rats! Oh, I'm so jealous of you guys right now. You can just jump out of your shoes and keep running, but Wait, I'm wearing boots this...
The unnamed minion made a last-ditch escape attempt. He began his long climb, up the wall, the tall wall. He began his long climb up the tall wall.
You call that a tall wall? In urgent Neko parcel mode, I'll scale it in no time.
So, it was you! I would congratulate you for cracking the case, but since I did such an abysmal job of covering my tracks, didn't exactly... So, all I can say is... Catch me if you can!
We have a runner! That's it! Let me at him!
The would-be Marquis of Carabas dispatched the Necomata in boots, who ran off in pursuit of the poor little minion. The minion's poor little lower back was protesting painfully against the intense physical activity. He decided to take the elevator, giving him a moment to catch his breath. Really? His lower back asked. But the minion had no other choice. He resolved to make the jump down. By this point, the Necomata in boots was gasping for air. The minion was huffing and puffing, even more loudly. But we'll ignore that.
I'm not! Don't underestimate the gold-level courier of the Komania Express!
A characteristically catty response from the Necomata. Tell me, what do you hope to gain from bullying me?
I get to let off some steam!
Ha-ha! You fell into my trap. Oh, and by the way, remember the glue you got stuck on when you first entered the future Marquis's abode to be? That was also me. I did it using my powers.
Rats! Oh, I'm so jealous of you guys right now. You can just jump out of your shoes and keep running, but Wait, I'm wearing boots this time. Yes!
The unnamed minion made a last-ditch escape attempt. He began his long climb, up the wall, the tall wall. He began his long climb up the tall wall.
You call that a tall wall? In urgent Neko parcel mode, I'll scale it in no time.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
So, it was you! I would congratulate you for cracking the case, but since I did such an abysmal job of covering my tracks, didn't exactly have your work cut out for you. So, all I can say is... Catch me if you can!
We have a runner! That's it! Let me at him!
The would-be Marquis of Carabas dispatched the Necromancer in boots, who ran off in pursuit of the poor little minion. The minion's poor little lower back was protesting painfully against the intense physical activity. He decided to take the elevator, giving him a moment to catch his breath. Really? His lower back asked. But the minion had no other choice. He resolved to make the jump down. By this point, the Necromancer in boots was gasping for air. The minion was huffing and puffing, even more loudly. But we'll ignore that.
I'm not! Don't underestimate the gold-level courier of the Comania Express!
A characteristically catty response from the Necromancer. Tell me, what do you hope to gain from bullying me?
I get to let off some steam!
Ha-ha! You fell into my trap! Oh, and by the way, remember the glue you got stuck on when you first entered the future Marquis' abode-to-be? That was also me. I did it using my powers.
Rats! Oh, I'm so jealous of you guys. Now you can just jump out of your shoes and keep running.
The unnamed minion made a last-ditch escape attempt. He began his long climb, up the wall, the tall wall. He began his long climb up the tall wall.
You call that a tall wall? In urgent Neko parcel mode, I'll scale it in no time.
I'm beat. I surrender.
You've got nowhere left to run.
All right, I confess.
That was fast.
Getting caught by you here was a backup plan. I don't know if what I've done will make things better or not. Time to come clean. I am the narrator, the one who's been guiding you all this time. Okay, I guess my voice acting skills have some room for improvement. Anyway, I only did what I did because...
Why are you suddenly spilling the beans?
I poured my heart and soul into all this. I was worried you wouldn't ask. The truth is, I was one of the first conscious beings ever made by the goddess of creation. And I've known for a long time that this whole world is just a... I know they say that fairy tales are just made up for kids to read. But I refuse to believe that fairy tales are just fictional stories and nothing more. The reason why Constellation Metropole has 3 origin stories is that the Goddess of Fate wrote 3 drafts and couldn't decide which one she liked best. Then her cat trod all over them, and they all got crumpled together, so the 3 worlds just sort of folded into one. The goddess of fate was torn between them anyway, since she couldn't decide which ending was best for the dragon or the kids. So when she saw what the cat had done, she simply decided to go with all three.
Who would have thought? But what does any of this have to do with what you did?
You're not a fictional character, so you couldn't hope to understand my sorrow. Honestly, I don't think there's anyone in all of Simulanka who would understand. Every day that I experience, every interaction I have with another person, is it really all just a work of fiction? The only reason the three great clans wanted to find out the truth was for the pointless task of electing the supreme clan. I thought that once they'd learned the truth, it might make them curious enough to investigate further. But as it turned out, they just accepted it and carried on living the same old lives. I have to motivate them to keep looking for answers now that they think they've learned the truth. I have to make them uncomfortable with the superficial explanation that they took at face value. And I have to figure out, once and for all, while you real people from the outside world are still here, are we real?
Aww.
That's my full confession. Time for you to take me back. I'm guessing I'll probably be forced to make a public apology, then sentenced to half a day in solitary confinement. I definitely deserve half a day. Oh, also, pass this message on to Cape, Bobarano, and Albizzi, if you could. The Great Clockwork Key was originally put in place jointly by the ancestors of the three clans. If the three of them had any ability to cooperate whatsoever, they'd have been able to remove it by themselves. Over all these years, not once have they ever tried removing it together.
Oh, my poor child. There's one thing you've been mistaken about this whole time.
Ah! Whose voice is that? Detective? Was that you? Your voice acting's actually pretty.
The reason fairy tales are suitable for children is that they help them to understand the world. Fairy tales may be works of fiction, but at their heart lies an internal logic that is undoubtedly real-world truth in a condensed form. Perhaps they simplify good and evil, and perhaps they hide the darkness in metaphors. But let there be no doubt. The world within fairy tales is as real as can be, and by extension, you and your compatriots are also real.
Goddess! Is it really you?
The line that separates footnotes from narrative can never be crossed. Never the two shall meet. This is why you have never heard my voice before. But now you wish to break free from the story, and there's a cat nearby, so you can hear my echo.
Necromora!
Just your echo?
Oh, poor detective.
So, we are a part of the real world too.
My head's spinning. Albizzi just gave me a quick rundown of the situation. So you caught the detective?
Sorta. We chased him until he surrendered. Oh, and he asked us to pass on a message.
Does he really think we didn't try that? 'Cause we did, after 6 months in that place.
Ah, that was my bad. I thought it was a stupid idea at the time, so I didn't really exert myself.
I also sort of stopped trying after 3 years.
You... Never mind. I'm partly to blame as well. On the second attempt, I just hugged the key and pretended like I was pulling as hard as I could.
You guys are so lazy. My granny's neighbor's pet cat has nothing on you, and it spends all day, every day sunbathing.
Anyway, you said you heard the voice of the goddess of fate at the end? That's amazing.
There is a world beyond our own after all.
What would you guys say to taking a trip to the outside world sometime? Otherwise, I got bashed in the back of the head for nothing.
Depends. Do either of you know how to get there? But yes, I agree we should go. And not invite the detective, just to annoy him. But maybe the reason we've never worried about whether we're real or not is that, unlike him, we weren't there to witness the creation of this world. We've never had any reason to doubt that we're real. If someone ever convinced me that these delightful dimwits, Cape and Albizzi, weren't real, oh, I'd be devastated.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Certainly worth the extra mile. Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Osmanth... One man's stone is another man's gem. Every journey has its final day. Don't rush. Certainly worth the extra mile.